Living Power with Dan Hurst.
Now, the one main thing that this incident reveals to us is how important pure worship is to God. And to violate this key principle is to incur God's discipline. Think about that. To violate this key principle, the very first thing that Christ confronted was worship. Impure worship. When a church loses its priority and violates its primary focus, one of two things will happen, and maybe both things. The first thing is that it will open itself up to God's discipline. When a church violates how important pure worship is to God, when a church violates that, it opens itself up to discipline from God. I'm not talking about punishment, I'm talking about discipline. And, by the way, this is the preferred option, because the second option, and it may be both, but the second option is that God will abandon the church. So, God will do one of two things, or both. He will discipline the church, or He will eventually abandon the church. And this fact is very clear in His admonition to the church at Ephesus. It's given to us in Revelation chapter 2, verse 5. Remember, therefore, from where you have fallen, repent, and do the works you did at first. What were the works they did at first? Worship. If not, I will come to you and remove your lampstand from its place unless you repent. That's pretty harsh. But that's the way God sees it. And He sees the issues of your life and the issues that are going on in any church as crystal clear. It is either about worship or you violated what it's all about. God looks at it because the most important responsibility of the church is worship. All the other things fall into place when the worship is right. Now, I want to define worship, and I want us to take a few minutes and study what this concept is and what God says about worship. Because this is key. This is key to Jesus' ministry. It's key to what He was doing at the temple at that time. It's key for us. And the application of it is vital for us. Worship is the absolute surrender to the holiness of God and all the demands that makes on my life. Worship is absolute surrender to the holiness of God and all the demands that makes on my life. Now, this is so important to understand. We tend to think of worship as that feeling that we get when we go to church. And that's not what it is at all.